Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm coming at you with an Odd Eyes deck profile. So this week the new ban list has gone into effect, which means we have our Wisdom Eye, Skullcrabat, and our Pendulum Call all back at 3, which is super beneficial for this deck. And with all those cards back is what really is allowing players to play Odd Eyes Magicians and perform a Pal Magician decks again. On top of that, in Maximum Crisis and some of the newer sets, we got some Pendulum and Performapal support, which I have included in this deck. So, without any further ado, let's just jump into this deck profile. We'll move our extra deck off to the side until we get through the main deck. So, the main deck's 40 cards. It's got Performapals and Odd Eyes cards and Magicians all wrapped up in it. So, it's really fun. You can make huge boards. However, if your opponent has Anti-Spell or Imperial Order, it can really hurt this deck if you can't get rid of those quickly. So yeah, let's jump into this deck profile. So of course, as you saw already, we have our two Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragons. He's your boss monster, level 7, 2500 attack. Not much else to say about him. He's just really good. For our Magicians, we are playing the 3 Dragon Pit. He lets you pop spells and traps, as well as he's a scale 8, which is good because you want those high scales. And he's back, fam. We got 3 Wisdom Eye. He lets you set up your scales with pretty much whatever you need at that moment. He's just great for instantly allowing you to pendulum summon. On top of that, he is a level 4, so if you summon him from your extra deck, or even just normal summon, you can then overlay into rank 4 that you need. If you have another 4 on the field, of course. But yeah, we are also playing 2 Oath Dragon Magician. He complements with your Dragon Pit because he is a scale 2. On top of that, he's got a pretty beefy 2100 attack. So I often use Wisdom Eye to get, if you can, get an Oath Dragon out there. And he's also really good for Pendulum Call because you can search 2 Magician Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. So you can get Oath Dragon, or you can get Wisdom Eye, or both of those, or you can get a Dragon Pit. It's just really good. And then I am playing the 1 Noble Dragon Magician, just because you can use this card to get out your Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. For our Performapals, first things first, we got our 3 Skullcrabat Joker. Just such an insane card. When he's normal summoned, you can add a Performapal, Magician, or an Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is just crazy. On top of that, he is a scale 8 and a level 4, which is just huge. This guy does it all, but he basically lets you search out like any card you need. And then I am playing 2 Pendulum Sorcerer. He's just another target for like Skullcrabat if you need him, or even for Duelist Alliance. And it's Pendulum Sorcerer. You kind of have to play him if you're using Performapals and Pendulums in general. I am also playing the 1 Odd Eyes Unicorn. He's great because it is a high scale, and when he's normal summoned or special summoned, you can target a Performapal monster in your graveyard, and you can gain life points to its attack. So if you really need to, that can be an effect you use, but its pendulum effect is actually quite better. While this card is in your Pendulum Zone, when an Odd Eyes monster you control declares an attack, you can target 1 other Performapal monster you control. That attacking monster actually gains attack equal to the attack of the targeted monster. So he can really beef up your Odd Eyes Dragon. I'm also playing the 1 Odd Eyes Light Phoenix. For our other Performapals, we have Guitartle and Lizard Draw, just because when you combo them together, they basically act as like a pot of greed. Extra draw power is always good. And one of the newest Performapals, I am playing the one Yugo Golem. Using him, he allows you to fusion into your Performapal Gatling Ghoul, the new fusion that Pendulum's got and Performapal's got. On top of that, he is an extremely low scale with a scale of 1, so you can use him if you really need to in your Pendulum zone. The other new addition, I guess, and a card I've been testing out is Pendulum-Mucho. I actually really like this card, not only because it's just silly looking, but it's actually pretty decent. It's an extremely low scale with a scale of 0, and if you really want to, it is searchable through Duelist Alliance. For our other Pendulum cards, we have 2 Archfiend Eccentric, Spell and Trap card removal are all very important because, like I said earlier, Anti-Spell and Imperial Order just destroy this deck, so you need outs to those types of cards. And we have Luster Pendulum because it's Luster Pendulum, and for our last monster we have Maxi because Maxi. So pretty easy there. Those 2 cards are just too good not to run. You know, Luster Pendulum just in any Pendulum based deck is really, really beneficial. For our spells, we do have the 3 Sky Iris, just one of the best cards in this entire deck and one of the best field spells in the game, I think. Your Magician, Performapal, and Odd Eyes cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be targeted by card effects, and you can target one other card you control and pop it, and if you do, you can add an Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand. So, because you want to see Sky Iris as soon as possible, we're playing the 3 Terraforming, and we also have our 3 Pendulum Calls. This card is just insane as well. So you can discard a card. You can add 2 Magician Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, when this card resolves, Magician cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that is just huge. This card protects your Pendulums and your Magicians. It's just insane. I'm so glad that we can now rock 3 again. And another new addition, and because of the new support out, we got 2 Duelist Alliance. So this card's actually been working out quite nicely. If there's a card in the Pendulum zone, you can add a Pendulum monster or a Pendulum spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. I'm also playing the 1 Odd Eyes Fusion, just basically to get your Vortex Dragon out. And 1 Ignite Reload, just because if you do get, a hand that isn't so great, you can, so you reveal the cards from your hand, you shuffle them back into your deck, and then you draw the same number that you put back. So, every once in a while you do get a bad hand, so this can help out with that. And for the last card, 1 Dark Hole. You could easily play a Raigeki, but my only copy of Raigeki's in another deck, and Dark Hole actually doesn't hurt this deck at all, so but whichever one you prefer. For our extra deck, so with this, it's not a complete extra deck. I think there's only like 11 or 12 cards in it, but you can easily just find fillers like other rank 4s or something. But I just picked out like the main cards that you really will use and go into. So we do have the 1 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Pretty standard there. We do have the new card, Performapal Gatling Ghoul. This card's actually really good. It's a 2900 attack monster. The cool thing is, You can inflict 200 damage to your opponent when he's summoned for each card on the field. Also, if it was fusion summoned using a pendulum monster, you can destroy a monster your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. So he can really just inflict a bunch of damage to your opponent. We're also playing the Dinosaur Power, the mighty Draco Slayer. That's it for the fusions. For our synchros, we are playing Ignister because it's Ignister. It's such a good card. As well as Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. And then the rest would be Exceeds. We do have our Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, our Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, great generic rank 7 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Also, feel free to include like a Big Eye in here because it's a great generic level 7 as well, and there's still available spaces in this extra deck to do so. I am playing the one Magister Paladin just because you can easily make it with 2 level 4 Pendulum monsters. I am playing the Performapal Trapeze Magician as well. And for our last card, we are playing a Castel just because it's Castel. Super good, but like I said, there's I believe that was 11, so there's 4 spots open. I just have my other Exceed monsters being used in other decks right now, but you can easily add, you know, like a Big Eye and then other rank 4s like a Tornado Dragon wouldn't hurt it as well, just to help against those nasty spells and traps that can hurt this deck. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. As for how this deck does like competitively and that kind of thing, it can go up against Zoo and Dinosaurs, but again, if they have those like anti-spells and those types of cards out and about, it's gonna be a tough time for you. But on the same token, if you can, you know, get the right pendulum scale set up right away and you have the right hand, you can just blow up the field as well. And then you can even go into that Gatling Ghoul and inflict the rest of the damage you need that way. So it's a fun deck. I'll definitely be playing it on the side of my Zoo deck just because, I mean, Zoo's insanely good. So yeah, but this is just a fun deck. You know, pendulums have always been fun, and it's not that expensive. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for some more deck profiles and Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings as well. I hope you guys hit that like button and subscribe because that would mean a lot to me, and I'll speak with you guys soon. Until next time, guys, peace out.